right, all right, all right. I think we're live. Yes. Welcome, Pale Rider TV, live from the Pale Rider TV studio here in a hot, humid Northeast Florida. What is today? Thursday, June 25th, 2026. I don't know if y'all follow Wild Beard Trucking. They posted a video yesterday, and we're going to react to it. Talking about the CEO over there. And let's just get into the video. Let's do it. I think I got everything ready to go. Yeah. So here we go. Wild Beard Trucking. Looks like he's asleep right there. Let's do widescreen. Open it up. Wake up, Wild Beard.
There he goes. Prime sent me into the terminal. But now that the FBI has called me, go ahead and give everybody percentage pay. Why are you playing favorites with Marcus, who runs 3 trucking companies on the ground? Then he wants to run a whole city in the ground. That veterans didn't die on the sands of Omaha Beach, so little rich boys like you could cry and whine and take away people's constitutional right. And everybody else to know this, that where you won't stand, I'm gonna stand, and I'm gonna stand in the gap, and I'm gonna fight till every breath is gone in me, no matter who they call or who they have called me, no matter who they report me to, no matter what lawsuit they bring against me, no matter what letters they send me threatening me or what they do in the dark or behind the scenes. I will stand up and I will speak up, and I'll never shut up about it, and I'm not backing down. There's only one way, and that's forward.
That's right. Get up.
Hey, what's up, guys? Wildbeard here, bringing another video to you, talking about Hirschbach today. Several people have been asking me what's been going on and what's been happening, and I haven't really been talking about it much. I wanted to go home and enjoy my home time and not let any of this stuff consume my thoughts while I was at home. But now I'm back on the road, back to work and grinding again. So let's go ahead. We're going to jump into it. You know, when Hirschbach called Prime Inc. and tried to get me fired, I didn't make a video about it. And when Hirschbach has promoted a narrative, in my opinion, from what I'm hearing, they're calling me a domestic terrorist or shooting out terroristic threats.
Domestic terrorist.
Just what I'm hearing. I don't know. Listen, all of this video is all my opinion, okay? It's all my opinion. You don't have to believe a single thing that I say, all right? Just want to make that clear. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to take anything I say for truth. None of it, man. Okay? But I'm just going to tell you my story, my experience, and some things that have been going on in the dark that are going to be brought to the light. But when they called me all those names and they've really controlled the narrative at Hirschbach, which is understandable, obviously. It kind of explains one of the reasons why they've reacted the way they've reacted, because they haven't been able to control the narrative here on YouTube and among other truck drivers and social media, except when Hirschbach has continually doubled down in defending the driverless trucks, which is what they've been doing. All of their staff, all of them, they've all been doubling down, defending the autonomous trucks, the driverless trucks. All of them they've just constantly been, no, you don't understand. These driverless trucks are going to be great for our drivers. Like, that's been like all of dude, it's been, I didn't make a video about any of that stuff.
I did a video about that, Aurora or Hirschbach buying all those autonomous trucks. So go check it out.
I didn't even address it. I didn't talk about it. Didn't make a video about it. But now that the FBI has called me and talked to me, and I'm going to get into all the details of that conversation, which was 16 minutes. Now I'm going to make a video about it. And I want everybody to know, watching this video, because a lot of you are drivers and some of you are office staff and some of you are executives at Hirschbach, but also upper management executives at other companies as well. I want everybody to know that we're winning the war, that Hirschbach is a disaster right now. Their management, their executive team is in panic mode. They have been dealt a heavy blow. Their trucks are sitting on the lots at their terminals, man, because there's been such a major mass exodus of drivers. I mean, drivers have left and right. I got an email from a driver saying, you know, I've been at Hirschbach for 9 years, and you are exactly right. Since Richard Stocking has taken over Hirschbach, it has been an outright terrible company to work for. That's what he said, man. 9 years. Now, you know, and I know, all these drivers know that are watching this. 9 years at one company is a really long time. That's like a really long time to work in one company. And he abandoned Hirschbach and left them. And think of the other countless stories. I could go on for story after story after story after story, man, of people who have just abandoned Hirschbach. Drivers, staff, all kinds of people have abandoned. I had an email from a guy the other day that said he was leaving Hirschbach. He's left Hirschbach or whatever. That his dispatcher, his driver leader, just up and quit, left without any notice, nothing. Didn't say anything to him, nothing, never said goodbye, nothing. He said it's just an absolute disaster over there. And what that tells me too about that driver leader leading, he was either fired because they're having fewer and fewer driver count, all of that, or the office staff is abandoning Hirschbach as well, which is what I've asked them to do as well. It's a call. Listen, man, not another load, not another driver. We have got to keep fighting these people, okay? And I'm not just doing this for clicks and views. I'm not just doing this for my own prestige or because I feel good about saying these kinds of things. I want you to know, man, when you say people's names online like this, there's repercussion and there's a weight that comes from it. I'm getting phone calls from the police department while I'm picking up my little boy from school. I'm getting calls from the FBI. What are they going to try to do next? To try to cancel me and strip me of my First Amendment rights? And how long is this going to last? Are people going to support me? I don't know, man. When it comes down to it, are people really going to stand by? I don't know. Like when I made that video, I had no idea that anybody was going to stand behind me, dude. So the weight and the pressure when it comes on, dude, I want you to know, man, I'm not doing this for clicks and views. I'm doing it because I really believe that there's a line in the sand and they've crossed it. And we all need to band together and fight back against these people.
That's right.
All
I agree.
of them. Hirschbach,
I agree.
Werner, any of them. I'm focusing on Hirschbach because they need to be made the example. Because if we can continue bring a mass exodus of drivers out of there and not let any more drivers go in there and really influence that, that's really going to hit them hard. And they're mad, dude. And they're not going to let this go. It's obviously affected their profit margins. It affected them financially. But honestly, that's the only way to get their attention, is by affecting their money. And you know what? They'll blame it on me. They'll blame it on all the other, all the other influencers out there that have talked about this story. They'll be like, oh man, all this whole collaboration of truck drivers conspiring to close the company. We're not conspiring to close your company. Your leadership made destructive decisions.
Right.
Brad Pinchuk made destructive decisions. Richard Stocking made destructive decisions, and they are holding to them regardless of the outcry from drivers that have continue to say, we don't want this. We don't want you to invest in this. We don't feel like this is good. And we are not going to work for your company because we are allowed to use our labor. Last time I checked, they still need truck drivers. We're allowed to use our labor to withhold that from these companies and not go work for them and work for other companies that are not vested into autonomy and driverless trucks with Aurora, period, okay? Do not blame the drivers. Drivers are blamed for everything. There's a wreck on the road. It must be the driver's fault. There's a wrong address on the bill of lading and the driver goes to the bill of lading address. It's obviously the driver's fault. It's always the driver's fault. It's never a load planner's fault. It's never a driver leader's fault. It's never anybody else's fault. It's always the driver's fault. And they'll try to pin this on the drivers too, like they always do, and say, like, well, these driver influencers, truck driver influencers on YouTube and TikTok, they're just and they just brought down, they're trying to take down a perfectly good company. No, your leadership is trying to take down their own company. Don't put this on drivers again. I know some of you don't want to fight this. I know some of you just want to go about your business, about your day, about your time, and you just want to make your money. You just want to do what you want to do, ride it out until you can't ride it out anymore, man. And I want you to know I don't blame you, okay? I am not here for any drivers that disagree with me on driverless truck. You are not my enemy, okay? I'm not here to put you down. I don't want to put you down, but I want you to know I'm going to get into AI, driverless trucks, Aurora. I'm going to tap into all that and give a very detailed response about why I feel the way I feel and why I think the way I think, okay? Because it's not just feelings and emotions. There's an intellectual philosophy that goes behind what I'm saying. But I want those drivers to know that every truck driver that disagrees with me, that's okay. You don't have to take this stand. And everybody else to know this, that where you won't stand, I'm gonna stand. And I'm gonna stand in the gap, and I'm gonna fight till every breath is gone in me, no matter who they call or who they have called me, no matter who they report me to, no matter what lawsuit they bring against me, no matter what letters they send me, threatening me, or what they do in the dark or behind the scenes. I will stand up and I will speak up, and I'll never shut up about it. And I'm not backing down. There's only one way, and that's forward. Because it's the beginning stages now. These driverless trucks, they're not anywhere near where they say they are. They always,
Where do these trucking companies get the nerve to try to silence anybody? If you're a bad company, people are going to talk about it. Why are you trying to silence them? Instead of trying to silence them, get better.
Elon Musk said in 2017 that by 2019, driverless cars and autonomous cars were going to be everywhere in 2019. You see where we're at today. But we have to take this at the early stages and fight these companies and let them know this will not be accepted. It's a line in the sand, and we will not take any more boots on our neck. We have to do it, guys. Now, you want to sit it out?
He's right about that. I've been doing videos about it. Bonehead Trucker's been doing videos about it. Now, while we're here, we're going to try to do what we can, put out the videos against these autonomous trucks.
Sit it out. That's fine. But I'm not sitting down. They never do anything publicly. They never do anything. They always just sneak around behind the scenes and in the dark. That's what these companies, this was Hirschbach has been doing lately, sneaking around in the dark. They attacked my social media channel. They took the police report, which was dismissed, obviously. They took that same police report and sent it into the FBI and filed a report with the FBI. Levi Mechner from the Kansas City field office called me. But they never do anything publicly in front of it. It's always done in the dark, always in the dark, always behind the scenes. They took down photos on
You're
Facebook.
Going to call the FBI
saying that I was,
because somebody is talking negative about your company, which is doing negative things. What the heck?
What you did was lying. All right, just keep doing it behind the scenes and in the dark. I'm going to keep talking about it. Every time you do something.
There is such thing as called filing a false police report. So, Wildbeard, you might want to look into that.
I'm going to talk about it. Every time you make a move in the dark, I'm going to shine the light on. Every time. There's serpents in the garden, little snakes in the grass. That's what they are. No, it's not funny, guys. These people are serious. They're really upset. I got them. They are so angry. They're angry, bro. But I want you to know they're treading on us. For all you people out there, raised up the, don't tread on me flag and had it tattooed on your arm, and you got the t-shirt that says, don't tread on me and all that kind of stuff. I want you to know that these companies, Hirschbach, is treading on us. I want you to know that Aurora is treading on us. They want to take away your First Amendment rights to speak up against them. They want to take away your constitutional rights, and they want to throw you in jail and call the police every time, even if they don't have a court case on. There's no case. They don't have a case on me, okay? They don't have nothing on me. I haven't done anything. The only thing I've done is the same message I've been putting from the beginning to where it is now. Every driver should abandon that company. Every driver should stop working for them and start working for a different company. You should plan if you are still there, you should be planning an exit strategy to get out of there. ASAP, period. No ifs, ands, or buts. And if you're looking into that company, you should stay away from that company as much as you possibly can. Let me tell you, if you're working on the Tyson account right now, that was the old account I worked on, you just need to go work for Tyson. They pay better. They're going to pay you a whole lot more money than Hirschbach ever will, okay? Way more money. Anyways, and better benefits too. Health insurance, like what, $20 a week? I almost went to work for Tyson, not trying to shout out Tyson or anything, but let's go ahead. Right after I recorded the video that I did last time about Hirschbach, I was notified that somebody had called Prime and tried to get me fired. They were like, oh, if he's going to do it to us, he's going to do it to you. He's going to talk bad about you. What he's going to do. I've never talked bad about any company I've ever worked for, except for Hirschbach. Never one company that I've ever worked for.
This is messed up.
for, except for Hirschbach. Not a single one. Can't find a video online. TJ Presley, COO of Hirschbach, called Prime and tried to get me fired. Let me just remind you guys, these are the same kinds of people that will regurgitate the talking point, well, no truck drivers want to work anymore. There's a driver shortage. We don't have enough truck drivers. There's a driver shortage. Nobody wants to work. These truck drivers are just so lazy. You can't get them to work. You can't get them to pull loads. They decline loads all the time, or at least drivers decline loads all the time. We can't get any drivers to work. They'll be the same ones that say that, and then they'll try to call and get another driver fired because they didn't like a Facebook post. He tried to call and get me fired. He tried to take food out of my family's mouth. He tried to stop an influx of revenue into my household to where I could provide for my family. He tried to put an end to that. That's what he tried to do. And that's okay, TJ. TJ Presley, what does that stand for? Thomas Jefferson? I've thought about that a lot lately. I've been like, does that stand for Thomas Jefferson? Tommy Jeffrey? What was it? I'm just curious, man. Thomas Jefferson Presley. I'll just call you Elvis Presley, dude. I bet you're related to Elvis Presley somehow. I'm just kidding, dude. You're from Utah. He's from Memphis, Tennessee. Originally from Mississippi. Anyway, you put my name in your mouth, TJ. You couldn't help yourself, and you know what you probably said? Well, I was told by Richard to call Prime. I was told by Brad to call Prime. I was told. This is what I was told to do. I'm just doing what I was told to do. You're both to blame, dude. And TJ, you know what I think is funny? I would love to know, since you're so morally on the high ground here, that you want to get people fired, and I know that you would never do anything wrong at your job. I wonder if you've ever sent a message out to anybody, any female that you've ever worked for, that was inappropriate. I'm just curious, man. I don't know for sure, but I hope nobody ever looks into it. That's all I got to say for you, TJ. I hope nobody ever looks into it. I hope you've always been above board in your correspondence at work, on a work line or on a work messaging system. I really hope so, TJ, because don't worry, you won't get fired. You're Richard's little lackey boy from Swift to DPX Consulting. I'm sure you were there at Celadon too for a time, weren't you? I bet you were right along with them in the room, weren't you, TJ? I bet you were. I bet you just couldn't help yourself being there at Celadon, were you? If anybody wants to know what I'm talking about, go back to my last video, the disastrous career of Richard Stocking. Let's go see what he's been up to. You know, go ahead, check that out. Anyways, TJ, I'm not going to sit here and harp on you for forever. But just know, I know it was you. I know it was you, TJ. You should be more professional. Hey, bro, dude, those executives, bro, people like TJ and Richard Stocking and BK and Brad Pinchuk, bro, they hate it when you say stuff like that. That's like the biggest insult you can make to those kinds of people. You should be more professional. I bet you talked real pretty like Richard talks real pretty, bro, with that little voice you guys got. Well, you know, if he did it to us, he's going to do it to you. I'll tell you, man, what's funny, because I'm sure y'all are wondering what Prime did to me. What did they say? What did they do?
Yeah,
and I want y'all to know that Prime sent me into the terminal. They brought me in. And it was to the main Springfield terminal. And I want you to know, I had a meeting with some of the top leaders at Prime. They brought me into a conference room with a long table. And they sat me down. First words out of Rob Lowe's mouth as he stuck out his hand and he shook my hand and he said, "We're really glad you chose to come to work here at Prime." And that's all I'm going to say about that conversation, bro. I ain't saying nothing else about what went on with that conversation. But you know what? The fact that I'm still here at Prime and I'm still making video, it's enough that it says everything it needs to say. All right. Say what you want to about Prime. Say what you want to about everything Prime does, and lease drivers and training program and taking advantage of, and the fleece or the scam or the inward facing cameras. Say all you want to, bro, but they didn't fire me. It says everything you need to know. And I'm not here to plug Prime. I don't want to do that. Not this video. I'm here, bro. I'm here to let y'all know. Let's talk about what's been going on at Hirschbach. The first, they just been doing dumb stuff. Calling the police, having their lawyer harass me. Sorry, BK, that's what it's called, bro, when you just call people multiple times, multiple days in a row. It's called harassment. Right. Now they've reported me to the FBI. Just real panicky. It just seems like they've been real panicky, and I haven't figured out what was going on. Was it just the fragile egos that are just making them make these really bad decisions? Not only do they make bad decisions in the business world, but they make bad decisions in relation to PR work too. I mean, it's just across the board, terrible. Just curious, I couldn't figure it out, and I kind of figured out a little bit more why now, and let me get to that. But the first smart thing they've done is control the narrative within Hirschbach and their upper management and, you know, all the other still office staff employees that work. They've been smart to control the narrative, pretty much, you know, portray me. It's really smart to say like, oh, well, he's a terrorist. You're not going to watch some terrorist video, are you? This guy's threatening Hirschbach. By the way, I'm not threatening Hirschbach. I don't feel like you should do any kind of violence towards anybody that works there. Do not harass their drivers. Do not do anything to their equipment. I just want you to know, there's a Prime driver over here. There's a Hirschbach driver right over here next to me at this truck stop right now. You know what I've thought about doing to that Hirschbach truck? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Because you know why? We have the moral high ground right now. We haven't broken any laws. But it really bothers them when you do. I want y'all to know, some of y'all posted those funny pictures, bro. They hate that stuff. When y'all comment those comments about autonomous trucks, they delete them, bro. They can't stand. But that's what they want. They want a cancel culture. They want to control the narrative. They want to maintain. They want to decide what gets said and how it gets said and what's the story. Because if they can't control the story, which they're not controlling on this YouTube channel, they'll try to shut you up. And they'll do everything they can to intimidate you and bully you and force you to shut up and be scared. And I don't want you to know, a lot of your office people, maybe a lot of your other drivers too, would be really scared when a lawyer calls, would be really scared if the FBI calls or the police calls and all this kind of stuff. But I want you to know I'm not scared. And you could they're trying to cancel me. They want to strip everybody of their First Amendment free speech right and cancel you. And if you want to go work for a cancel culture Hirschbach company, go ahead and go work. That's your decision, man. Go ahead. I'm going to keep exposing it. I'm going to keep talking about it, and I'm going to shine light in the
Hirschbach, the cancel culture trucking company. Yeah.
Every single time I heard somebody call me, he's just issuing terroristic threats. He's issuing terroristic threats. That person never even watched the video. Never watched the video that I put out. And you want to know why? Because that person's older, because that person wants to retire, and they just want to be safe and secure in their job and ride it out till they can retire. They want to stick their head in the sand and not do anything. And I understand it, bro. Even though you knew who I was, even though you had talked to me before, even though you knew my little boy, I want you to know I don't hold it against you. Anybody at Hirschbach who said negative stuff about me and the office staff, middle, upper, whatever, dude, I don't care. I don't want you to know I don't hold it against you, because there's 4 people I'm attacking in this video. Richard Stocking, Brad Pinchuk, TJ Presley, Elvis Presley. Oh, Elvis, and BK. BK filed the report to the FBI, guys. At some point, when you know the right thing to do and you don't do the right thing, you're just as wrong as all the rest of them. That's all right. You want to stick your head in the sand, do your own thing, man, and pretend, just be secure. But don't blame me when that company shuts down and goes bankrupt. Don't be blaming the truck driver. You blame those same 4 people that I mentioned just now.
That's right.
Because they're the ones have ran that company to the ground with every poor leadership decision.
That's the only company that ran it.
Let's go ahead and talk about Brad Pinchuk. Brad Pinchuk, man, I want you to know he's the one probably that I'm guessing gave the order to report this to the FBI. He's fired up, man. And I want him to hear me loud and clear, because I'm going to keep saying this over and over in every video. You're ashamed to the uniform. You're ashamed to the flag. So the first time the Constitution was a little bit inconvenient for you, you were ready to throw it out the window. And I want you to know, Brad, be rad. You're so rad, dude. Brad. I want you to know, Brad, that veterans didn't die on the sands of Omaha Beach so little rich boys like you could cry and whine and take away people's constitutional right and pay exorbitant amounts of money just to make yourself feel better. People didn't die in the jungles of Vietnam just so you could cry and whine and take people's constitutional rights away. People didn't die in the Civil War to protect this country and fight to keep it joined together. You could just cry and whine, try to take somebody's constitutional rights away. No, they didn't die for that, Brad. You're a disgrace to the uniform, brother. The second the Constitution was inconvenient, it wasn't even that big of a deal. It was a Facebook post. You're ready to call the police on somebody, man. You're ready to file a report to the FBI. Lock them up. You're a disgrace, man. Disgrace to the uniform. A disgrace to the flag. And I want everybody to hear me loud and clear that Brad and Richard Stocking are the same. Brad gets everybody else to wear the black cape for him. He never does any of the dirty work himself. He gets everybody else. Richard comes up with dumb ideas, makes stupid decisions. He's plastic, fake, and melts under the heat and pressure. But Brad, smart guy, man. He keeps his hands clean, makes everybody else do the dirty work. And I want you to know, Brad, I'm not stupid, very well aware of of what you do. BK's been doing your dirty work. You got Richard wearing the black cape for you, doing your dirty work. But I want you to know, man, I want you to hear it loud and clear. I want everybody who watches this video to hear it. Brad is a disgrace to the veteran community and a disgrace to the uniform and a disgrace to the flag. And that's what you get when you try to take people's constitutional rights away, the same rights you swore to protect. Now, I can't figure out for the life of me why King Richard was so upset. But you know what? I finally figured it out after I made the video. These people are just having a meltdown over there, man. 2025, King Richard ran for mayor. He wanted to be the mayor of some town, some city somewhere over there in Utah. And I just find that so comical, Richard. I mean, listen, guys, the guy runs 3 trucking companies into the ground, my opinion. Whether he did or not, that can be, you can make your own decision. Runs 3 trucking companies into the ground. Then he wants to run a whole city in the ground. You guys imagine that? Dude runs 3 trucking companies in the ground. Then he wants to run a whole city in the ground by running for mayor and being mayor of a whole city. You're gonna have to go to California, man, for that kind of stuff. They ain't gonna put up with it in Utah, bro. You're gonna have to find some other place, bro, to run into the ground. Oh, guy ran for mayor. I know them AI pictures just got you going. They got you going, bro. Your political career is ruined, guys. This guy's political career is over. But you know what I find is funny is in 2025, which is when you filed, I'm assuming. Correct me if I'm wrong, King Richard. He filed in 2025. Same year he was a CEO. Same year he's doing whatever he's doing with Aurora. He's really involved with Aurora, guys. I mean, he's on a lot of their videos. He's always on speaking into the microphone. Richard loves to be in front of the camera and in the newspapers and in Wall Street Journal and Freight Waves and all these other places. He loves to be in the zone. He just doesn't, he's just not very good at his job. But I can't figure out, he's a CEO, super involved with Aurora, and then wants to be mayor. Now, one of those jobs he's going to have to be less involved in. If I had to guess, now, Brad, you may not know that he ran for mayor in 2025, but I want you to know, Brad, my thoughts, he probably was going to quit Hirschbach and just be full-time mayor and not tell you. Do you ever think about that, Brad? Maybe he was going to just abandon you, abandon the sinking ship over there. That's what I think he's going to do, guys. Now, I feel sorry for it because I know the office staff were really hoping you were going to win that mayoral candidacy so you could not be at Hirschbach anymore, and they get some people that are some people who know what they're doing. And I'm just being honest with you. You know, if there was a truck driver who crashed at one company, went to a second company, crashed again, went to a third company, crashed again, you know what I'd say to that guy? Hey, maybe this job just isn't for you. Hey, King Richard, maybe you need to go home to that $4 million house or however many $1 million house that is, bro. Probably a lot more than 4 million, but maybe you need to go back to there or that little ranch or wherever you're at, however many properties you own. And maybe you just need to just sit it out. Maybe you've done enough damage to everybody else and ruined enough people's lives. Maybe it's time for you just to ride some horses and play with the grandbaby. You know, maybe it's time just to be done, bro. I don't know, dude. Just a thought. Hey, call it what it is, bro. You know, but I feel really sorry for people like Brad. And I feel really sorry for people like Richard. Because when you're at that level, the only reason why people are nice to you, talk to you, because they want something. You have these interactions with people in the office, your company, and maybe it makes you feel empowered. But I think at the end of the day, you go home, and how lonely does it got to feel to know that everybody who interacts with you that is just trying to get something from, like, you don't have any real friends. Because I don't feel like anybody's telling you the hard truth of, maybe at Hirschbach, this is just my opinion. Nobody's telling you the hard truth. Like, just saying stuff to you that you don't want to hear, like, hey, maybe it's just time to leave this guy alone. Maybe we just need to let the fire die out and deal with the repercussions. Is nobody telling you that? See, there's a proverb and it says this: profuse are the kisses of an enemy, but faithful are the wounds of a friend. See, a real friend isn't some lackey, isn't somebody who's just trying to get more money out of you or get a promotion or get a good resume or anything like that, or getting a cool title that sounds really nice on LinkedIn or anything like that. But a friend deals blows and wounds to you. And I don't feel like you have anybody like that who's willing to really give you some hard truths in your life. That's got to be lonely, bro. Because I got friends that tell me, that are point blank with me. And I need that. I need people in my life who are close to me. I ain't gonna tell you who they are either. I'm gonna tell you who you are. But I know, man, you got to feel real lonely at night when you go to bed. And I'm glad it feels good not to be you. They've doubled down. Meanwhile, the rest of the staff, man, they've just doubled down on these autonomous trucks. It's a losing battle. It's a losing war for them. And they continue to double down driverless Aurora trucks. I've received a couple emails here. A driver sent this Hirschbach is just sending out mass emails to these people all the time. And it's like, hey, you were interested in starting with Hirschbach. Let's get the ball rolling, this real, X, Y, and Z kind of email. Then I had the driver responded with this. He said, I get the feeling you're going to have a hard time recruiting drivers after announcing buying 500 self-driving trucks. Job security is significantly important to most drivers. Knowing your company plans on replacing us all with computers isn't a good look. Here's the response. That is not the goal at all with the self-driving trucks. Well, what is the goal? What's the goal? If they're not self-driving, Aurora states their goal is to replace driver, to have nobody in the truck, nobody watching the truck, completely autonomous and no driver incorporated. That's what driverless means, self-driving. They will not replace any driver. Something you should check out instead of thinking the worst and being negative about it. To which the driver responds, good luck to you, probably out of a job when all your drivers abandon your company. They're not giving up. They're not stopped. They're not backing down from. CDL Shorty does a video. I'm going to go ahead and play it.
This truck driver, this company does not value you. I just want to let you know that this company does not value you. And there are many other companies out there that are following suit. I had a chance to have a meeting with one of their recruiters recently. And you want to know something she told me? She actually sat there and told me, and it had to be a PR stunt or a PR quote, if you will, or a quote from their investors, if you will. She sit there and said that they listen to drivers. More drivers would rather be at home than to be on the road truck. So that's why they're moving to autonomous vehicles. Did you hear what I said, truck driver? How much money you think they're spending on that autonomous vehicle equipment? That money could be going to you. I'm not speaking for the independent owner operators that have their own authority and all that. I'm not speaking for them. I'm speaking for everybody in totality. See, I train these students that come out here and go to these companies and they get used up. That has a bad taste in my mouth. This company does not value all of the effort that it is to help build it up, to help it have on-time delivery service. They do not value all of the time that you spent away from your family, your friends. They do not value you, Mr. and Mrs. Truck Driver. If they do, they will pay you more. They will pay you your worth. But no, they want to spend it on autonomous vehicles or whatnot. They want to continue to show the general motoring public that guess what? They don't even care about your safety. Do not go to this company. Run as far away as you can from this company. So you have to take a stand. There are some truck drivers out there that are selling out, unfortunately, and that are going to be partnered up with this company right here, that are going to just sit in the seat and make sure nothing goes wrong while still getting paid pennies on a dime. Why sell out like that? Why sell out like that? This company has proven that they do not care. They do not care. Listen to my words. They do not care. All of the years, all of the hard work, all of the miles you put in, they sent a big you to all of their drivers out there. They do not pay well. They do not pay you your worth. Get what you deserve.
CDL Shorty said it, man. Listen, guys, CDL Shorty is dropping names, dude. CDL Shorty's saying names, dude. He's over there talking about politics, the political aspect of trucking and transportation. Ike Stevens over there at Bonehead Truckers, he's talking about politics and naming politicians and putting like clown noses on their face. Listen, man, these people are hearing us, dude. They're hearing us, man. And I want you to know, when you begin to drop people's names, that's when the heat and the pressure comes on your shoulders. The last thing I'm going to talk about here in regards to Hirschbach before we get into AI and what happened with the FBI. And I want everybody to know too, man, shout out to everybody who did a video talking about this on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, man. And Facebook, everybody, everywhere. We're talking about it. Thank you guys so much for
You're
that
welcome.
too. I didn't share out everything I could share out, dude, but I want you to know, man, I watched as much as I could. Tim Travels, bro, all of you guys, man, I love you guys. I'm going to address some of the criticisms. No hippie, trucking, and transportation. I want you to know I love you, bro. I love everybody, dude. I love everybody at Prime. I love every trucking guy, influencer. Even if you disagree with me, bro, there ain't no hate in my heart, bro, for any of you guys. Okay, I'm not, my fight is not with you. All right, my fight is not with you. I don't usually go on and attack other truck drivers. I don't talk about it. I always just see it as low-hanging fruit, especially people who don't have a YouTube channel or something like that. I really try to stay away from that stuff as much as possible. Sometimes I don't have as much self-discipline as I'd like, but I really try to avoid it. But there's one guy that commented on that reel with CDL Shorty, because we collabed on that reel. He tagged me in it, and it's on my Instagram profile as well. And there's one guy who commented on that public reel that has a public profile on Instagram, and he does like looks like a bunch of truck stop food reviews or something like that. Good old Marcus. And all this is public info. You can go look up his IG tag and everything else. ICECRYP. Ice Cry P or whatever. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that means. But that's his Instagram tag. I mean, do not harass him. Do not message him. Do not do anything to him. Okay. I'm just here, man, because he pointed this out. He commented this post and I wanted to address it. He said, I work for Hirschbach. Okay. And I've been driving trucks for over 20 years. Wow. I make good money here. You have a lot of drivers that want a trucking job that pays good money, but don't want to live a trucker life. People come here and want to get on that dedicated account with guarantee pay. Well, when you get guarantee pay, you getting the minimum they need to pay you. Oh, really? Isn't that interesting? I'm gonna talk about this. You want to be home every week and get paid $1,400? That's fine, but don't whine when they only make $1,400. I'm OTR and I do my part, and I get unloaded early and back rolling. I made between $1,800, $2,200 a week before I went percentage. Week before you went percentage? Oh boy, we got a lot to talk about, Marcus. By the way, just want everybody to know that in 2019, Marcus was my referral. That's when he came to Hirschbach. He came from CalArc, which is the last company I worked for, and came to Hirschbach. So you're welcome, Hirschbach, for recruiting such great drivers that have stayed there since 2019, 2020.
I was at CalArc, or Central Holland, part of CalArc. Never met Wildbeard. I don't know if we ever crossed paths or what. He said he saw me in Laredo, but I don't know what was going on. I guess I didn't see him, or I was busy doing something. I don't know, but I don't know Marcus. I checked out his Instagram, and his face don't look familiar. I don't know how long he was there, but I didn't know Marcus.
And on. You're welcome, Hirschbach. Got you some of the great ones, huh? Even the one, I mean, they really. You're getting the minimum on the dedicated. You know what I heard? And you know what? Feel free to ask this and check it with people, Marcus. But the dedicated accounts make more money than the OTR fleet does. That's what I heard, man. So why are those dedicated guys getting paid so low? They didn't give a raise to them. And I want you to know those meat loads, those Tyson meat loads that come out of the Midwest, go deliver elsewhere. I want you to know those are some of the highest paying loads you can get. Meat loads out of the Midwest. How many meat loads does Hirschbach do for Tyson? How many meat loads do they do with Smithfield? And they give these drivers the bare minimum pay to pull them. That's okay. You do your part. You do your OTR. You do your part. I guess the dedicated drivers, they aren't worth enough to get a raise, huh? That's all right. We're not done here.
Yeah, I don't think you will do it, Brandon.
We got a lot to cover. I went percentage. They only have a handful of percentage drivers. Oh, see, you broke the rule, Marcus. See, the percentage drivers at Hirschbach, that's like the Illuminati, and it's like Fight Club. We don't talk about Fight Club. We don't talk about percentage pay. You don't ever talk about percentage driver pay at Hirschbach. You don't ever tell nobody. You don't ever talk about it. You don't know. Yeah, that's secret. And you commented it on my reel. You're going to get a phone call. I want you to know that, Marcus. They're going to be like, listen, Marcus. Please refrain from engaging in videos about wild bear. That's all right, bro, because I'm going to let you know. You broke the rule about percentage, bro. You talked about it publicly on my reel, no less, on the reel that I collaborated with CDL shortly. But I make good money, a damn good living now. Hate to break it to you, Prime boys, but Prime and Hirschbach follow each other's business models. Oh, really? Hirschbach and Prime follow each other's business models.
I don't think
Is that
so.
why Hirschbach is closing terminals and Prime is opening terminals? Is that why Prime has way more trucks than what Hirschbach? Dude, I'm not here to even defend Prime. I just want you to know, you may be on percentage pay, but it doesn't mean anything. We're all on percentage pay over here at Prime. In fact, Brad, since you're watching this, why don't you go ahead, instead of giving 10-cent pissy raises to everybody on the OTR fleet and no raises to anybody on the dedicated fleet, why don't you just make everybody percentage and keep their expenses the same? Why don't you do that? Go ahead and give everybody percentage pay. Why are you playing favorites with Marcus and a handful of other people? Why don't you give everybody percentage pay over there at Hirschbach? Why are you only giving a couple people? Huh? Brad, Richard. I just want you to know, man, before all this blew up.
What's the big secret about percentage pay? You don't want other drivers to know that some other drivers are on percentage pay? Is the secret? I don't know.
All this weird. On driverless truck. It was word on the street, rumor at the mill, was Richard was trying to do everything he could to do away with the percentage drivers because he felt like they were getting paid too much. He was trying to starve them out, give them all the crappy load. That's what I am. Just my opinion. Just rumor. You don't have to believe me, okay? You guys don't have to believe. Prime will be going to driverless trucks as soon as they are proven reliable. Got to get your money while you can. Got to get your money while you can. This trying to railroad a company into the ground as if they are a shit company is lame. It's lame. Hirschbach is not the greatest company out there, but it's just doing what every other company will be doing. Just like the way people railroaded Werner for being a pilot company for e-logs, and look at you all now on e-logs with driver-facing cameras. Make your money and stop being crybabies. Make your money. This is what infuriates me. This is the part that drives me to a rage, is that people like this, Marcus, will be the same. We've been driving for 20 years. 20 years. And you know what he'll also talk about? There was a time when truck drivers used to have each other's back, but that's not anymore. He'll be the same kind of driver saying that, and he'll backstab every other driver, make your money, quit being a crybaby, make all the money you can make, and do all this. He is all about his money and his selfish ambition just as much as Brad and Richard are. That's the kind of disgraceful drivers these guys are. They don't care about anybody else. They don't care about anybody else's family. You got any kids, Marcus? You got any grandkids? You care about them? You want them to have a job, or you want them to be replaced too with robots? See, this is a little war in the midst of a bunch of other fronts and wars going on. There's other people fighting in different pockets of resistance all around the United States right now, trying to stop these kinds of people and saying, listen, man, enough is enough. We've all had enough. Make your money. Who cares about all these other drivers? Quit being a crybaby. No, number one, I just want you to know, Werner is terrible. Everybody should abandon that company too, by the way. Werner is terrible, okay? They are just as bad. They have invested just as much. They are just as much to blame as Hirschbach. We're making the example of a Hirschbach. I'm not here to fight Werner hand over fist over and over, and McLean, all them other. I'm not here to do that. I'm here to focus on Hirschbach. But I want you to know, anybody trying to replace any drivers is a threat to this industry and every driver in it, and to the future of every CDL student. You ought to be siding with me too. Don't be going to these companies. Don't go to Hirschbach. Don't listen to Marcus. 20 years experience, and what does he learn? To be selfish, care about yourself, and don't help anybody else, and don't care about your kids, and don't care about your grandkids, and just think about me, 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 me. That's what you can take from Marcus. That's okay though, man. Meanwhile, the dedicated drivers get looked down on. Everybody on the Tyson account and Smithfield account gets looked down on. They're not real drivers. They're just dedicated. You don't deserve to make the same kind of money. You don't deserve to make this. You don't deserve to make that. Okay, all right, because you've seen the percentage loads. You just started on percentage. These prime drivers have been on percentage all the time. They can back me up. The meat loads coming out of the Midwest and going out are the highest paying loads. Tyson, Smithfield, all these other ones, man. Highest paying loads, high value loads, man. All the time. Cargill, all that. Just so you know, man. But that really burns me up when somebody like this only cares about themselves. I equate them as a driver to be along with everybody else. Make your money. Just make what you can until we can't make any more money. And then I guess we'll all go home and live off of a government check the rest of our lives. Meanwhile, Marcus is going to be on Social Security. He'll be too old to even care. That's why he doesn't care right now, because they bought him off with percentage pay, and they sold him a bunch of propaganda, and he's just dumb enough to believe it. But now I'm not. They try to get me to go percentage too. I don't want your percentage pay. It's not about percentage pay. It's not about making a bunch of money over there at Hirschbach for me. There was a principle. See, this isn't about following Wildbeard. That's what everybody wants you to make it about. It's about, oh, you just want to follow Wildbeard everywhere, follow him to Prime, follow him, blah, 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 blah. This isn't about following me. It's about all of us standing on the same principles. That every driver, we lock arms together and we say we're united in this, and we let go of all the other stuff, all the political stuff, all the other, the issues that we have, and what church you go to and what church you don't go to and all that. And we lock arms and we say, not another driver goes to Hirschbach. And we say it over and over, not another driver goes to Hirschbach. And if you're there, plan an exit strategy. I know it's hard. I know times are hard. I know times are tough. Do what you can to get out. I know some of you are trapped in there, man. I know some of you all are. Do what you can to get out. Find a good company. Don't come to Prime. So there you go. You want me to say it? Don't come to Prime. Don't come here, okay? You don't got to come here. I don't want you to come here, man. I want you to go somewhere else. But I'm going to keep standing up and saying it, bro. Listen, we ain't got enough time to go into autonomous trucks in this video, along with what happened with the FBI and the conversation. I really want to tell you about that. Listen, I'm going to sign off here now. Stay tuned for tomorrow. It comes out at 4 p.m. Central Time. Love God, love family, work hard, stay dangerous.
That's it. Thank you, Wildbeard. Appreciate it. Yeah, what do you think? I'm going to be at part 2 of the FBI thing. But why would you call it FBI? That's crazy. Try to silence somebody that's talking negative about your company. Oh, he's a terrorist. Domestic terrorist. He's talking negative about us because we're piece of junk company, so we don't want anybody to know about it. So let's call the FBI. Oh no. Crazy stuff. But yeah, that came out yesterday. I think I was getting ready to do this video earlier, and I seen Mike Stevens over at Bonehead Truckers. He did it. I said, man. I said, well, I'm gonna do one anyway because I already told Wildbeard I was gonna probably do a live reaction. But here it is. But what do y'all think? Catching the replay, leave down in the comment section. What do y'all think about this situation? So that's it. So I appreciate everybody that watched the live stream. Go check out Wildbeard's full video without me interrupting and check it out. Leave a comment over there. Tell them old Pale Rider TV sent you over there. So appreciate everybody watching. Everybody have a good day and stay safe.